Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are swatching together 5 different watercolors with 5 different formulations, except 2, but they have in common the name, and the name is this adorable name, which is Rose Dore. When I see a watercolor tube with such a lovely name, I can't resist, I buy it. So let's swatch them and see if they have in common other features other than the name or just the name. Let's start. Let's dive in. Let's swatch them. As usual, we start from Winsor Newton. And this Rose Dore is a pink light red color with a yellow undertone, and it's formulated with PV19, quinacridone pink or violet, and PY97, which is Hansa yellow. It's a beautiful, adorable peachy pink. Let me add some more pigment. Very delicate, very soft. I think that you can use this in sky or in portrait or in flowers, obviously. Look at this. It's really adorable. And this is Winsor Newton. I only bought this small tube, but I see that it will soon be finished. I might rebuy it. Then I will skip this one so they don't blur, and I skip to Old Holland. Old Holland is a very flamboyant name, which is Rose Dore Madder Lake Antique Extra. This one. Okay. The formulation is completely different. But still a very delicate color. Okay, some binder is usual with Old Holland, but you can still see the color. I can use my pan here, very easy to re-wet this one. And you see the color is exactly the same. And slightly cooler. It's less peachy, but very nice. It's more pinkish. This is more peachy. It's less yellowish, but it's very, very nice. And actually, this is formulated without yellow. This is PR177 anthraquinone red, PBR23, which is a brown, a dull brown that I have only seen used by Old Holland and Sennellier. You know, the Sennellier and Old Holland use quite unique pigments in their formulations. I think the Sennellier is very much a different brand. It stands apart. They have many multi-pigment colors, but they're also beautiful. There is a uniqueness about Sennellier, I find. And Old Holland as well. As I often say, it's either hate it or love it. Old Holland, and I love it. This color is really nice. Rose Dore Madder Lake Antique Extra. And I didn't finish. It's PR177 Anthraquinone Scarlet, PBR23, Azo Condensation Brown, a dull brown, and PR168, which is Once again, an anthraquinone color. It's anthraquinone scarlet, which is more orangey. So that's the color that gives this peachy undertone. Different from this one, cooler, but still very delicate, very soft, and very nice. Let's go to Wallace Seymour now, and Wallace Seymour is called Rose Dore Genuine, and it doesn't mention the pigment, it says natural madder, and it's completely different. It's more muted, it's really beautiful. So in common they have that they're all very delicate, very transparent, kind of weak, but this is more muted. It's like a peachy, delicate potter's pink, if I may. It's not so different in hue. This would be very lovely in portraits for lips and cheeks. It's a powdery pink. Oh, this is so nice. Very, very soft, very delicate, weak, but beautiful. You know that I have a soft spot for weak colors like potter's pink or earth green. And this is so beautiful, beautiful. They're also different, so what can you expect when you buy a Rose Dore? It depends on the brand, obviously. Now let's go to Sennellier, and this is called Rose Dore Madder Lake, Lac de Garance Rose Dore, and it's one single pigment, which is PR255 Pyrrole Scarlet. So this should be much more pigmented. It's an orangey red. It's one of my favorite pigments, especially for portraits. Now I think I have the Daniel Smith version of this pigment in my portrait palette. This Sennellier is absolutely wonderful, which makes me think that I need to compare my Pyrrole Scarlets. Look at how beautiful this is. It's vibrant. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. This parchment paper is not the best. You see that it kind of stops here with a hard edge. It's difficult to spread it, but here in Mastone is really wonderful. And the last one is a great watercolor brand, Michael Harding. Maybe you know this brand from oil paint. Now they have launched last year the watercolor, and they're absolutely beautiful, super pigmented. I mean, they are a real breakthrough in watercolor. They have tons of pigment. They're loaded with pigment. This has the same formulation basically of Winsor Newton, PY97 and PV19. Sorry, I made a mistake here. This is PV19. Quinacridone pink, but it's completely different. Now, they have the same pigments, but the formula is inverted, so probably there is more yellow than pink, but the result is a very vibrant, super vibrant orangey red, a scarlet, a vermilion, incredibly loaded with pigment. Now I'm watering this down, but even watered down, we are miles away from the other ones. It's probably more similar to the Sennellier. Now we let these colors dry, so then we can compare them, but already we can say that when you want a Rose Dore in your palette, you really need to understand what brand you want, because there is not a single interpretation for this color, I would say that they're all different and they're all beautiful. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes.
And now a little demonstration sketch.
So this is the day after, so light can be slightly different, it might be slightly different. And here are my colors, totally dry. The first thing that we can say is that when you buy a Rose Dore watercolor, you don't really know what to expect because they're all so different, the ones that I have tried. There is not one like the other. I would say that the one I probably like the best, as usual, is Winsor Newton. This is equivalent to my abstract platonic idea of Rose Dore, a peachy, delicate, soft, maybe even slightly granulating, very, very subtle granulation with quinacridone, pink, and Hansa yellow. The Michael Harding has got the same pigment, but it's so different, it's so saturated, so vibrant. If you wash it down, actually it looks a lot like the Winsor Newton one, but in mustard is really very punchy. It allows you to do probably more things because it has a wider range value, but I still prefer this soft, delicate interpretation. The Sennellier is Pyrrole Scarlet, and it is very beautiful, but it is something different. It is a Pyrrole Scarlet. It's a sort of vermilion and orangey red. It's kind of cauliflower here. The dispersion on paper in these two cases not as good as in the three different options. I like very much the old Holland. It's cooler than the Winsor Newton, and but it's very nice. It's very delicate. This is more beautiful because it has a stronger yellow undertone. It's more peachy, but this is also very nice. It says antique extra, and it is like we call it rosa antico. It's like a vintage rose. It's very beautiful. The Wallace Seymour is once again very different. It's very delicate, almost invisible, but really nice. I think that you can make, for instance, a wonderful sky with this. How beautiful this is. Still different. It doesn't get very dark, but it has a unique hue that I have never seen before in my life. The Michael Harding, as we said, it's very beautiful, but for me this is, usually it's quality to be saturated, but in this case, this is not what I would be looking for. So you have the, let's say, the elements to pick your favorite, and also please do let me know if you have a Rose Dore in your palette. Maybe not, because it's a multi-pigment with a couple of exceptions, really an optional color. But I think that it's nice to have, and it has an irresistible name, Rose Dore. It sounds so vintage, so like old times. It's very interesting. I like it. Let's go to the sketch. Now the sketch. Oh. This is the sketch. So the sketch was, as usual, a sort of advanced swatching. I have used my old Holland palette to paint this, and I have only used three colors: the Rose Dore, sepia, and yellow ochre. And I like this muted feeling, vintage feeling that it gives. I have tried to draw different values of the berries using both pure Rose Dore and darkening it with rose sepia sometimes, and same with the leaves, sometimes pure yellow ochre on that, or I have warmed it up with my Rose Dore. So the result, I think, is, of course, it's advanced swatching. It's just to see how paint behaves on paper, how it can, how it behaves when you mix it with other paint. And I think it has an interesting result. So I'm waiting for your comment as usual, and please do let me know how you use this color, if you have it, or maybe how you would use it if you ever bought it. Are you curious to have it? I'm curious to know your ideas about it. Thanks a lot for having watched this video with me, and I see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao. Have a lovely week. Ciao.